I'm Alan Katz, and I'm here with Rabbi Barry Tuchman, and we're here today to talk about interfaith weddings. Hey, Barry.
Hi, Alan.
So let's talk about interfaith weddings.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about why people want to have an interfaith wedding.
Well, the couples that come to me are couples who are not necessarily living according to the Jewish dictates that their religion has raised them up in. Maybe they've fallen away, maybe they've lost their faith, maybe they've just become very secular. And they still have an identity with Judaism. However, they have the world at their feet, and no one and no religion is going to tell them who they're going to fall in love with.
That's true.
So they fall in love with somebody who is raised in a different way. And when you fall in love, those aren't the topics of conversation of what's your mother like and what kind of food does she make and what do they believe about this topic. And this all comes up over time. This is why it's really always good for a couple to take their time when they're planning to get married, and even more so if they're coming from two different faiths. I don't believe an interfaith ceremony is a conflicting experience.
Right.
I believe that what we're doing is celebrating what makes us all one, not what makes us different.
Well, exactly. And you see, that's what's important, because so many people come from different faiths. People are Jewish, people are Christian, people are Buddhist, people are from Islam. There's so many different ways people believe, and there's no right and wrong way for people to believe. And when they come together and they fall in love, we want to be able to provide them with a way of having a ceremony that can enhance their beliefs, give tribute to both of their cultures, but also show the love that they have for each other. And that's what's the most important thing, is being able to give them what they want, give the families what they want, without making them upset, making the families upset, because a lot of times when you're doing an interfaith ceremony, the families can be kind of a challenge.
I just did a wedding a few weeks ago where the father, who was from the old country, and when his daughter said, "Daddy, we're getting married," and he knew the groom, he says, "All I ask is that you have a rabbi there." And at the end of the ceremony, after the end of the wedding, the father comes up to me with tears in his eyes saying, "Rabbi, I cannot believe that there was someone like you to perform my daughter's wedding, and it was such a mitzvot," is what he called it.
A blessing.
And that's exactly what I feel I'm doing, is rather than tearing apart Judaism, I'm keeping the door open for couples who perhaps will begin to think about their faith later on in their life. Mm-hmm. And that they'll have a memory that there was this rabbi who blessed their marriage, and that means that Judaism is a path that they could go and be accepted and loved rather than rejected.
Right. Because a lot of times when you get into an interfaith situation, a lot of people say, well, you know what, I just don't want anything. And I don't want any mention of God. And that's okay too. What the most important thing I think that we both agree on is giving the couple the ceremony that they want.
Yes.
Celebrating whatever culture they have and enhancing it with as little or none or as much as they want in the ceremony. And that's what we create when we do a ceremony.
That's exactly how I approach it. It's really all about them.
Mm-hmm.
And our egos should not be so in front of the audience. I know of this one rabbi who, in the midst of the ceremony, steps away from the crowd and walks up and down the aisle as he's talking on his wireless mic, taking all of the attention away from the couple. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he doesn't do this intentionally, but I think energetically we have to be careful of how we do this. I think it was you that gave me this idea of when they kiss, you step away from the view of the photographers.
Exactly.
So that final shot is captured just the bride and the groom kissing.
Because that's the culmination of everything.
Exactly.
And so many times clergy will just stand there kind of looking goofy right in the camera, and that's the shot they get, and a lot of photographers will have to actually edit that out.
I know this as the truth.
Yes.
I've seen it.
I've seen me removed. Yes, back in the old days when I didn't do it. Yeah, so that's
with an eraser, pencil.
Yeah. Well, what's nice in say a Jewish Christian ceremony, when you're doing a Jewish Christian ceremony, you have to give honor to both religions without singling one out and having one over the other. but giving blessings to both, so both families feel that they've gotten something out of it. And that's not always an easy thing to do.
Well, I think I have the easier task than you do. If we were to, let's say, if I was doing a single ceremony of a Christian and a Jew, because I'm a rabbi, everybody's going to listen to me. If I was a minister, there wouldn't be one Jewish ear listening to what I had to say. But because Jesus was Jewish and Christianity is based upon the Torah, they love everything Jewish. They love that when there is the blessing over the wine, the blessing over the bread. These are the in the Hebrew, these are the actual words that Jesus spoke.
Right, during the Last Supper and things of that nature.
Of course, every Shabbat.
Right, exactly.
And so there's an enrichment for everybody. Now, when we talk, I don't really feel comfortable using the name of Jesus in a wedding ceremony.
Right.
And the ministers that I've co-officiated with understand this as well. And it's not so much that I have an issue with it, but we don't know what the family and the Jewish people who are there who are guests, we don't want them to feel alien.
Uncomfortable, right. You can say Moses, and everybody likes Moses.
Well, we can say in your name and according to your will.
But mentioning the name of God, if somebody wants, the religious end of it, it's the same God.
It is.
The Jewish God, the Christian God, the Catholic God, the Presbyterian God, it's the same guy.
It is. In fact, in the ceremonies that, I'll open up the ceremony with Boruchim Haba'im B'Shem Adonai, which is what is always opened in a Jewish service. It means, blessed are you who come in the name of God. Ironically, this is exactly what the Catholic Church always opens their services with, and many other Christians as well. So, and then the priestly benediction at the end, which is Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Same thing in the church.
Right,
so
exactly.
We're using traditions that are blending the two together. Not trying to dilute either one, but to show that there are those similarities that make us one.
And also to be able to enhance the couples by giving them a little bit of everything. So they get the dream ceremony that they want.
Sure.
Their families are happy. They've got the spirituality that they want. And they make it fun.
Yes.
And the audience, the people watching the ceremonies, they're the ones who also get out of it something special.
That's right. That's right. And that's what we want. We want an experience, not somebody witnessing a wedding. We want them to experience the wedding.
Exactly. Exactly. We don't want them just sitting there to endure. We want them to enjoy.
That's exactly right.
Right. Nobody has to endure a wedding ceremony. We prepare ceremonies that people enjoy. People want to watch. People can't take their eyes away from it because they know something special is going to happen around every corner.
Yeah, the greatest compliment that we could ever be given is that we didn't want it to end. I haven't heard that. But
yeah, that's a great compliment.
That's a great compliment.
Yeah, so when you're doing a ceremony with us, tell us that at the end of it.
That's right, and then we'll feel like
we've done something special.
We've achieved our goal.
So in an interfaith ceremony, we can give them the beliefs that they want. We can exclude the things that they don't want. We can make it about their traditions, and we can make it about the celebration of their love. All those coming together make the most beautiful interfaith ceremony, and everybody walks away happy.
Absolutely.
And that's what interfaith ceremonies are all about.
That's what we do.
Making the couple happy, making the family happy, and giving the couples and the people watching the ceremony the experience of a lifetime.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Alan Katz. This is Rabbi Barry Tuchman. We bid you adieu.
Adieu.